Good morning to all of you. In today's session, we will study about the economics of power generation. So here, this is the topics we have to cover, that is economics of power generation. Okay. So already we have studied this topic, that is power plant instrument. And some of the part I have also covered in the experiment 9. That is experiment 9 is about the study of power plant instrument. Okay, so there I will write it in short form, study of power plant instruments. So there I have also covered some parts of this, that is power plant instrument. So today we will be studying about the economics of power generation. So here first, mainly we will be discussing about the what are the terms and factors. Okay, what are the terms and factors which are involved in the economy of the power generation. Okay, so first is the load factor. So what is load factor? It is the ratio of the average load. Okay, it is the ratio of the average load to the peak load during the certain prescribed period of the time. So when the load power of the plant, it should be high. It should be high so that the total capacity of the plant is utilized for the maximum period, and that will result in lower cost of the electricity being generated. So what is that? So the load factor, it should be high, so that what will happen, there will be the reduction in the cost of the electricity, that is the lower cost will be there. And whatever the load factor is there, okay, so load factor, it is always less than unity, so it will be always less than unity. Okay, so this will be very helpful for you in the MCQ, so to solve the MCQ questions. And high load factor, so high load factor, it is the desirable quantity. And high load factor means what is the high load factor? It means the greater average load, which is resulting in a number of power units generated for a given maximum demand. Okay, so what is load factor? That is the, it is the greater average load for a given maximum demand. So what we can say, this will give that the fixed cost, that whatever the fixed cost is there, it will become proportional to the maximum demand, and it can be distributed over a greater number of units. That is, whatever the units here we will be talking, it will be in terms of kilovolt, kilowatt hour. Okay, so what will happen, this will lower the overall cost of the supply of the electric energy. Okay, so what is the desirable from here? That load factor, it should be high. So if there is the high load factor, they automatically the overall cost of the electricity will be reduced. Then second important term is here in the economy of the power generation, it is the utility factor, and it is the ratio of the unit of electricity. It is the ratio of the unit of electricity generated per year to the capacity. Okay, it is the ratio of electricity generated to the capacity of the plant which is installed in the station. And it can be also defined as the ratio of maximum demand of a plant to the rated capacity of the plant. Okay, suppose we say that the rated capacity of the plant is 200 megawatt. Okay, 200 megawatt, and the maximum load on the plant is 100 megawatt at the load factor of 80%. So load factor, it will be in terms of percentage. Okay, so then what will be the utility will be equal to what? It will be that is electricity generated. So here our maximum load is how much? 100, and we will be multiplying the load factor. Okay, so this is the load factor. I will write it as short form LF, load factor, and divided by the rated capacity. So rated capacity is how much? 200. So in this way, what we will get, the utility factor, it will be 40%. That means this much is utilized for the electricity generation. Then comes the plant operating factor. Okay, plant operating factor, what is? It is the ratio of the duration. Okay, it is the ratio of the duration during which the plant is in actual service to the total duration of the period of the time considered. So we know that if the power plant is working we can't say that every 365 days it will be working. Some days will be given for the service, maintenance and all. So here we have to consider the ratio of duration which the plant is in actual service and to the total duration. So that will give the plant operating factor. Then is the plant capacity factor. Okay, what is the plant capacity factor? It is the ratio of the average loads on a machine or the equipment to the rating of the machine or equipment for a certain period of time considered. Okay, so this is almost like same as that of the utility factor, but here we have to consider the certain period of time. So here what happens, the load and the diversity factors, they are not involved with the reserve capacity of the power plant, and the factor is needed which will measure the reserve. Okay, so this reserve we will next we will study. And likewise the degree of utilization of the installed equipment. So for this factor, that is the plant factor, that is capacity factor, or we can call it as the plant capacity factor. So this is defined as the actual kilowatt hour produced. Okay, actual kilowatt hour produced to the maximum possible energy that might have produced during the same period. Okay, so this will be the average. So that is only we are saying average loads. Okay, average load matlab average load, suppose I am taking it as the 100 megawatt generation, 100 megawatt, but maximum possible energy that might have produced during that same period. Suppose in the same period only, if I am getting maximum, I am getting around 125 megawatt. Okay, 125 megawatt. So that will give the plant capacity factor. That will give the plant capacity factor. And the annual plant capacity factor, it will be defined as the annual kilowatt produced. Okay, so annual kilowatt hour produced to the plant capacity, that is in kilowatt into hours of the year. Okay, so the difference between the load and the capacity factors, it is the indication of the reserve capacity. So this much reserve means what? That much will be available. So that much we can also utilize for the production of the electricity. Okay, then about the demand factor. Okay, so what is the demand factor? The actual maximum demand of a consumer is always less than his connected load, since all the appliances in his residence will not be in the operation at the same time or their fullest extent. So we know that our household, we know that we are having washing machine, okay, washing machine, TV, fridge, all the thing is there. But combinedly, total we will be calculating the load, but that will be the giving the maximum load. Okay, maximum load. But we know that at the same time, all these appliances will not be running. Okay, so that is the demand factor. So this is the ratio of the maximum demand of a system to its connected load is termed as the demand factor. So again, this will be also always will be less than unity. And what is the diversity factor? Suppose there is a group of consumers. So it is known from the experience that the maximum demands of the individual consumers will not occur at the same time. Okay, the ratio of the sum of the individual maximum demands to the maximum demand of the total group is known as the diversity factor. So it will be always greater than the unity. So we have to keep in mind that demand factor, it will be always less than 1, and here this diversity factor, it will be always greater than 1. And high diversity factor, so which will be always greater than the unity. So this is desirable, and with a given number of consumers, higher the value of diversity factor and lower will be the maximum demand on the plant. So we can say that diversity factor, it is equal to what? Sum of the individual maximum demands divided by the maximum demand of the total group. Okay, so demand factor में क्या हो रहा था? It was for the consumer, for consumer, single consumer. यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? that is for the sum of the individual maximum demands. Okay, so suppose mera demand hai 1 kilowatt, okay, and other person's demand is 2 kilowatt, and some other person demand is 3 kilowatt, okay, and divided by maximum demand of the total group. अभी ये total group है, total group का maximum demand क्या है? It is around how much it will be? If we are having total group, it is 5 kilowatt. Okay, so in this way we can calculate the diversity factor. So what we can say that the capacity of the plant will be smaller, resulting in the fixed charges. Then what is load curve? So it is the curve which shows the variation of power with respect to time. So we have to, here this will show the power with respect to time, and it shows the specific value of, that is specific load for each unit of the period covered, and the unit of time considered may be hours, days, weeks, months, or years. Okay, so time we can take in terms of days, weeks, months, or years. So next is the load duration curve. So what it shows, this is the curve for the plant which shows the total time within a specified period during which the load equaled or exceeds the value shown. Okay, so this is the load duration curve. So then is the dump power. So dump power, this is generally used in the hydropower plants, and it shows the power in excess of the load requirements. Okay, and it is made available by surplus water. Then what is firm power? So it is the power which should always be available even under emergency conditions. So emergency, whatever the emergency condition occurs, so that time we can use it firm power. Then what is the prime mover? We know that it is the prime power, sorry, prime mover not, it is the prime power. So it is the power which may be the mechanical, hydraulic, or thermal. So that is always available for conservation into the electric power. And what is the cold reserve? So it is the reserve generation capacity which is not in operation but can be made available for service. So that is the cold reserve. Okay, suppose we are having total generation capacity around 150 megawatt unit, okay, and we are only using 125 megawatt. So that 25 megawatt remaining will be our cold reserve that we are not utilizing. So next is about the hot reserve. So it is that reserving generation capacity which is in operation but not in service. Okay, so this is in operation but not in service. Then is the spinning reserve. So this is the reserve generating capacity which is connected to the bus and is ready to take the load. So that is, we know that how electricity is generated, that is we'll be using the bus bars. Okay, so this generating, that is spinning reserve means what? So the generating capacity, it will be connected to this bus and it will be ready to take the load. And last, that is about the plant use factors. Okay, so this is the modification of plant capacity factor. So what we have already, we have seen plant capacity factor. So this is the modification of that one, where the actual number of hours that the plant was in operation is used. So we have to consider the actual number of hours the plant will be in use. So annual plant use factor, it can be defined as annual kilowatt hour produced, okay, divided by the plant capacity which is in kilowatt multiplied by the number of hours of plant operation. So here we have to consider that is the plant operation, how much hours the plant is operating. Okay, so next comes about the factors which affect the power plant design. Okay, factors which will affect the power plant design. So till now we have studied about the various factors. Okay, various factors, that is load curve, load duration curve. Okay, so all that thing. So now we will be studying about the factors that will be effect on the power plant design. So first important factor is about the location. So location of the power plant, we know already, we have discussed in hydro power plant, then the thermal power plant, nuclear, like a diesel, all how the location plays the important role. Then second is the availability of water in power plant. Okay, so availability of water is very much essential because we will be using this for the cooling and all, cooling, heating and all, sometimes process heating. So that is very much important. Then third one is about the availability of labor nearer to power plant. Okay, so that labor, so they should also easily come to the power plant and they can work. So that is the major concern. Then fourth one about the land cost of the power plant. Okay, so land cost means what? If the dry land is there, okay, so that cost will be less. Suppose if the fertile land is there, so that cost will be more. Okay, so that cost will be more, again that we can't use because again certain problems will be there. So we have to consider the land cost of the power plant. Then operating cost, whatever the operating cost is there, it should be low. Okay, and whatever the maintenance cost is there, it should be also low. Then there should be the low cost of energy generation. So whatever the energy generation is there, it should have the low cost. Then we should have the low capital cost. So all these are the factors which will affect the power plant design. Okay, so next that is we can also say that the cost of the power plant, it depends on whether a new power plant is to be set up or existing plant is to be replaced or to be extended. So the cost analysis, it will include the fixed cost and the operational cost. So what is fixed cost? So fixed cost, it includes the initial cost of the plant. So what are, because initially we will be set up in the plant, what are the land purchase, then construction, okay, equipments, machineries, all that will come under the initial cost. Then the rate of interest, then depreciation cost, taxes and insurance. Okay, all this will come under the fixed cost. Then comes the operational cost. So operational cost is that it includes the fuel cost. Okay, like for thermal power plant we have to use coal. So then same way nuclear power plant will be using the uranium. Then operating labor cost, because labor will be working here, so that operating cost will come. Then continuously, so working will be there, so we will be having the maintenance of the power plant, then supplies, then supervision, then operating taxes. So all this will come under the operational cost. So we have to keep in mind that whatever the cost of power plant is there, whether it is new, old, or we have to renew. So it will depend on these two, that is fixed cost and the operational cost. So what is initial cost? So initial cost, it includes the, as I said, land cost. Okay, so that is the purchase of the land. Then building cost, that is building, that is construction, whatever the construction is there. Then equipment, okay, equipment cost, so heavy machineries, boilers, then boilers ho gaya, turbines, all these things, so that will come under the equipment cost. Then comes the installation cost, so all this has to be installed. Then overhead charges, that is for the overhead charges means what, that is it will include the transportation cost, then stores, storekeeping charges, and whatever the interest is there applied during this period. So all this will come under the initial cost. So if we say that to reduce the cost of the building, so what is desirable? It is desirable that to eliminate the superstructure over the boiler house and as far as possible on the turbine house also. Okay, that is we can eliminate the superstructure so that the we can cost whatever the cost of the building is there, it may be reduced. Then we can adopt the unit system where one boiler is used for turbo generator, and that can reduce the cost on equipment. And also we can use the simplified piping system, and we can eliminate the duplication system such as steam headers, then boiler feed headers. Okay, so in this way we can go on cost cutting. Okay, so what are eliminating the duplicate or standby auxiliaries? This can reduce the cost. And if the power plant it is not situated in the proximity to the load surge, the cost of the primary distribution system will be a part of the initial investment and the construction. Okay, then rate of interest, as we discussed rate of interest. So we know that all the enterprises, they need investment of money, and this money may be obtained as loan through bonds, then shares, or the from owners of personal funds. Okay, so directly we can't put because this projects it will be more than 100 crores, 200 crores. Okay, so that much fund will not be available. So some they will be having the through the bonds, through the loans, and the shares from the owners. Okay, then what is the interest? Interest, it is the difference between the money borrowed and money returned, and it may be charged at a simple rate as percentage per annum. Okay, or maybe compounded. So in which case the interest is reinvestment and adds the principal, thereby earning more interest in subsequent years. So we know that all that is, if the whatever the money borrowed is there, and again if we return that money and it takes much time, so rate of interest will go on increasing. What is depreciation? So what is depreciation? It accounts for the deterioration of the equipment and decrease in its value. It may happen due to corrosion or due to the weathering, that is due to the weather and wear and tear with the use. Okay, that is mainly depreciation, means the decrease in the value of that equipment. And it also covers the decrease in the value of equipment due to obsolescence. So with the rapid improvements in design and construction of plants, so this obsolescence factor is of importance. So why? Because this obsolescence factor, so this, if we consider this, then also there will be the decrease of the value of equipment and availability of the better models with lesser overall cost of generation. It makes imperative to replace the old equipment earlier than its successful life is spent. Okay, so we can use the better models. Okay, so what are the technology? We know that it is goes on increasing. Suppose अभी मोबाइल है, मोबाइल एक साल पहले मैं जो मोबाइल लिया था, अभी now if we are using that mobile, so that changes. Okay, so here also, so that we will be using the better models, and the actual lifespan of the plant, therefore it can be taken as a shorter than would be normally expected out of it. And to calculate the depreciation cost, we can use this method, that is straight line method. Okay, then percentage method, then sinking fund method, and the unit method. So these are the four methods by which we can calculate the cost of depreciation. Then comes the operational cost. Okay, so for the operational cost, it includes the cost of fuel. Operational cost, it includes the cost of fuel, then labor cost, then cost of maintenance and repairs, then cost of stores, then supervisions and the taxes. So cost of fuel, we know that in the thermal station, so fuel, it is the heaviest item of the operating cost, that is fuel, that is coal. Okay, and the selection of the coal and the maximum economy in it use are therefore very important consideration in the thermal plant design. So we have to select that is the what type of fuel we will be using. The types of coal we have studied, that is anthracite and all. Okay, and it is desirable to achieve the high thermal efficiency for the plant, so the fuel charges are reduced. Okay, so if the fuel charges are reduced, then only we will get this high thermal efficiency. And the cost of the fuel, it includes not only the price at the site of purchase, but its transportation and handling cost also. So directly we know that coal, suppose in Maharashtra, we are having the thermal power plant, and the coal we are getting it from the Chhattisgarh. Okay, Chhattisgarh, we know Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, so there are the coal reserves are there. Okay, so directly from this side, if you want to transport, so again the transportation charges will be there, and handling cost will come. So that will again increase the cost of fuel. And in the hydropower plants, so absence of the fuel factor in the cost is responsible for lowering the operational cost. So plant heat rate can be improved by the use of the better quality of fuel, or by employing the thermodynamic conditions in the plant design. Okay, so we know that how this cost of fuel matters in the that is the design of the thermal power plant. Okay, so but in hydropower plant we can say that this fuel factor is will not be considered. So due to which what will happen, there will be the lowering of the operational cost. So the cost of the fuel, it varies, that is from unit price of the fuel, okay, and amount of the energy produced, then efficiency of the plant. Okay, so cost of the fuel can vary depending on these factors. Then is about the labor cost. Okay, so for the plant operation, the labor cost, it is the item of the operating cost. Okay, so maximum labor is needed in the thermal power plant using coal as a fuel, and hydropower plant or diesel power plant of equal capacity requires less number of persons. So if thermal power plant is there of 100, suppose 100 megawatt is there, so for 100 megawatt thermal power station, so the labor required will be more than that of this diesel and hydropower plant. So in case of the automatic power station, so labor, that is the cost of the labor, it is reduced to a greater extent. So however, labor cost cannot be completely eliminated even with fully automatic station, because we know that still we require some manpower for periodic inspection, etc. Next is about the maintenance and repair cost. Okay, so we know that to avoid the plant breakdowns, so always maintenance is very much essential and it is necessary. And the maintenance, it includes the periodic cleaning. Maintenance में क्या आ जाएगा, cleaning आएगा, then greasing, adjustment, and overhauling of the equipment. And the material used for the maintenance, it is also charged under this head. And sometimes an arbitrary percentage is assumed as a maintenance cost. So a good plan of maintenance will keep sets in dependable condition and avoid the necessity of too much standby plan. So we must have the backup, that is time to time we have to do the service and maintenance of the equipment, so that the equipments will be running good and we will be getting the good efficiency. Then cost of the stores. So the items of the consumable stores other than the fuel, they include such as lubricating oil, then greases, cotton wastes, then small tools, chemicals, paints, and other such things, that is etc. All this will come under the cost of the stores. Okay, so generally we will be having the stores, so there we will be purchasing the all materials other than the fuel. Okay, so this cost will be also higher in thermal stations than in hydroelectric power stations. Why? Because the here thermal power stations, the equipment, the machineries are more, so the material required for the stores will be also high. So next is about the supervision. So in this head, the salary of the supervising staff that is included, and a good supervision is reflected in lesser breakdowns and extended plant life. So if the supervisor is doing its job perfectly, so we will get this lesser breakdowns and the plant life can be increased. And the supervising staff, they include the station superintendent, we can say they come under the supervision, then chief engineer, then chemist, then engineers, supervisors, store in charges, then purchase officers and other establishment. So all they come under the supervision. So again, we know that the thermal power stations, that is particularly coal fed, so they have greater incidence of this cost than the hydroelectric stations. So again, here thermal power stations will be having the more number of supervisors as compared to the hydroelectric plant. So next, last is about the taxes. So we have to pay the tax, we know, to the government. So the tax under operating head will include the income tax, then sale tax. Okay, then third will be the sociality security and employee security tax. So this tax has to be there. So in this session, we have the discussion on the mainly about the factors. Okay, different factors, so which will be helpful for us to solving the numericals based on the fixed cost, depreciation and all. Then we have seen the how the parameters that is affect the on the plant design. Okay, so thank you very much all of you.